chances of Ben Chilwell and Reece playing either on Boxing Day or indeed the Aston Villa game, and whether there are any other concerns for you injury-wise?
Yeah, they're both doubtful, so I can't give you an answer at the moment. We're not sure whether they'll be fit for either game. Yeah, that's the answer.
I want to ask a question about Timo Werner. I think anybody who watched the game on Monday night can see the shift that he's putting into the team at the moment. He must be one of the first names in your team sheet, but he just can't hit the back of the net. Can you sense his frustration at the moment, and are you talking to him about that?
Yeah, I talk to him all the time. I don't sense the frustration. I think there's clearly, as a striker, you want to be scoring regularly because you get judged. He's done it in his career. So, but at the same time, every striker has moments and patches where the ball doesn't drop for you for whatever reason. And the positive thing is that he's getting chances in games, using his attributes to get in the box, to show his speed, to get chances. So they'll come.
Arsenal on Boxing Day. Are Arsenal in a relegation battle?
I don't want to talk about what their battle is. They're just a good team with a good manager. It's some tough results recently, but the general wave of the Premier League this season for every team has been more inconsistent than it's been in probably previous seasons for, as I say, most teams. So it's not my concern exactly where they're at. My concern is the team at face value in terms of quality, and they're a high quality team.
I know you'd left West Ham a couple of years before, but that 2003 West Ham side with Jermaine Defoe, Joe Cole, Di Canio, Michael Carrick, players like that, that's often thought of as the best side to have gone down. Is there such a thing as too good to go down?
I don't want to talk that conversation. It's not. I don't get what the point is. We're playing Arsenal Boxing Day. I don't want to talk about teams and relegation battles.
London derbies, I appreciate, are always sort of taken in isolation, and form kind of goes out the window. But as a player, you must have sensed that when you were going to a side where confidence was rock bottom, that there was a real chance there that if we get on top of this lot early on, then we can stamp our authority.
I'll side with your first part of that question, which was, I think that when you play a derby, form does go out the window, and sometimes the idea of playing the derby is the spur that the team needs to try and get a result. So again, we have to expect the best Arsenal, which is a really good footballing team with really good players, well coached, rotations in their team, lots of threats in attacking areas. That's what I expect. So we have to prepare for that.
Just very finally from me, I appreciate Christmas Day itself is different for a footballer or indeed a manager, but like many of us in Tier 4, your plans will have gone up in smoke. Have you still got a nice Christmas Day plan?
It's different, and some plans did go up in smoke, unfortunately, in terms of seeing more family, but we have to adhere to that at the minute. I think we all understand the seriousness of the situation, especially in the last week. And the news, and if you read the reactions and what we're being told to do, I think there's a reason for it. So yeah, I'm fortunate. We're fortunate. I can spend it with some close family, but maybe not as normal as most years.
Have a good Christmas, Frank.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks.
Let's go to Hugh at PLP.
Hi Frank, I just wanted to ask you, do you think timing is particularly important for a manager starting out their career? Because Mikel has gone into Arsenal with a huge coaching reputation, but it may well be that circumstances outside of his control mean that reputation gets damaged. So is it, particularly for young managers, about right job, right time?
I think there are so many factors in that. Timing is a factor in anything, I think, in sport and in life at times. I'm very at pains not to talk about other managers' situations because nobody knows. I don't know the 1,000 things that Mikel Arteta deals with day to day, or in managing Arsenal. He doesn't know what I deal with. So it's hard to comment on other people's jobs in that point. I think timing is certainly an important thing in everything.
And I suppose the other thing that you do share, and from your own experience, is that you appreciate that when you're a manager of a big club, you tend to have the reactions to wins and defeats exaggerated because of the extra scrutiny on you. How do you try and plot an emotionally neutral course through all of that?
Well, it's our job as managers to do that, and expectations are high for many teams in the Premier League. Whatever the bar that's seemingly set from the outside world, the fans, the social media world, punditry media, everything, I think is something you cannot control. So you must work day to day, and if it's off the back of, we had 2 defeats last week, it's my job to pick the players up, focus on what's important, bring positivity, real positivity, not fake positivity, to try and change that. But we've seen a lot of teams have difficult periods this season as well, the unexpected periods because of the volatile situation, the lack of pre-season, the scheduling. All these things have been contributing factors, and everyone will have their own take on that. But again, if we're going back to Arsenal, they're a high quality team, so I'm absolutely not thinking about form with this one. I'm thinking about the team in front of us.
Let's come to Alex at TalkSport.
Hi Frank. You enjoyed some fantastic battles with Arsenal as a player. What do you remember particularly about those games, and does that give you any extra incentive going into this weekend?
I don't think it gives extra incentive because there's always been that. I felt that as a player, we had a real rivalry. When I joined at Chelsea, Arsenal had the upper hand on us and had won league titles before I came here. And as we managed to change that tide a lot, there was obviously clear rivalry, as you would expect with London teams anyway. And I enjoyed that side of it. That's as long as it's controlled and carried out in the right way, which I think it was most of the time. So I think that rivalry remains. My role now is different. I'm not on the pitch. The players have to play with passion, controlled passion, because that's what a derby brings.
You mentioned the swing of momentum. I remember you scored the equaliser against Arsenal in the 2004 Champions League quarter-final when Wayne Bridge got that famous winner. Was that a turning point, do you think, for both clubs?
I think the evening was when we got that result, because it gave us a huge amount of belief. At that time, we hadn't been able to beat Arsenal in my first days at Chelsea. They were a really strong unit, completely had been built up for quite a few years under Arsene Wenger, and we were changing, but we were young. And that night gave us a belief. So it did certainly push us on at that point, but we're obviously at very different points, both of us now.
And just finally from me, I've just spoken to Mateo Kovacic. He says it's important that Chelsea put some silverware in the cabinet in 2021. Is that very much your aim for the new year as well?
It's always the aim. It's always the aim. It's just it's always tough, and it seemingly gets tougher. And I think this year where we set out, we wanted to improve, and from last year it felt very much in house, a big season for us in managing to qualify for Champions League football. And again, now we have different challenges, and we're not far enough down the line to say whether we'll make the challenges, and who knows what the challenges are ahead. So we'll see.
Nick at PA.
Hi Frank, thanks for your time as always. Just on Timo, I mean, obviously we saw recently him admitting he felt he struggled slightly and perhaps underestimated the challenge of the Premier League. But is his honesty in that a good thing? Because does it sort of take a level of confidence in itself to make an admission like that, and then he's making himself accountable to putting it right? And just on Tammy, how pleased are you with his form, and looking at his goal scoring stats in the Premier League? They're excellent, aren't they, for his age and his progress?
Yeah, I think honesty is a good thing. Whether it gets taken in the right context or not, I'm not always sure. We crave honesty, and then we sometimes hang on every word. I don't think Timo, in terms of underestimating, is quite the right, I don't want to speak for him, translation or feeling of what he actually feels. I know he wanted to come here and be a success. I know he understood the rigours of the Premier League. It's just a fact that when you're here in action, it's different challenges. So I don't think you can talk about that too much until you're here. And he was talking about his experiences, and as I said before, he's getting lots of chances, and he will score a lot of goals for us. And with Tammy, yeah, I'm pleased. Tammy offers a lot. We saw that the other night. We've seen that this season when he's played. Him and Ollie in their own way have offered us a lot at different times. So he just has to keep working and keep progressing. Last season was a great, real breakthrough season for him in terms of Premier League and Chelsea number 9. And there's more work he can do, but I'm very happy with him.
Let's finish with Jerry.
Hi Frank, can you hear me okay?
Hi, I got you, Jerry, yeah.
Hakim Ziyech, is he going to be fit?
No, he won't be fit for Arsenal, no.
Okay. Is it a concern that, I mean, he's had obviously a stop-start season, hasn't he? And, there's high hopes that he can be the sort of creative force to really make you tick. Is there a worry you're not going to see the best of him this season if he keeps sort of dipping in and out with these little injuries?
No, I don't think he's necessarily. He had an injury on his knee at the start of the season, and he's just got another muscle injury, so you have to wait for it to recover. I wouldn't say it's a long-term concern. We hope to have him back within the next week or so, and hopefully offer what he was offering before, because he was offering great things, and obviously you miss that when it's taken away. But that's football, that's squad, that's what happens when players are playing at a really high level every 2 or 3 days.
Okay, that finishes the broadcast section.